So hello and welcome to Stephen Fours. As you can see today, I'm back at my world headquarters, going to do another one of my sit down videos today. Originally I was going to go into the garage and do a sit down, a bit of a chat with the SLK. However, I have my excuses at the ready for why I'm here. Next door I've got the boarders in and they're making an absolute racket. So basically I've decided to come up here. You can still hear a little bit of noise, so I apologise a little bit in the background, but it is a lot quieter inside this house than it is over in the garage. So today, as you can tell from the start, I wanted to talk about something that actually quite annoys me. I think out of everything to do with cars and the car community, this is something that actually annoys me the most, and that is age restrictions at car shows. Now, that doesn't sound too bad when you look at it on the surface, but actually what really annoys me with this is why have age restrictions at cars? Why can't we have just anybody come to a car show? Now, I obviously understand sometimes there's themes of car shows and there's different types of car shows. If, for example, you've got an old Japanese car show, you wouldn't go and take a BMW and Audi there, would you? And I get that, you know, different genres and everyone likes different things. So I kind of get that, but I don't know why, particular car show, we have classic car shows. Now, those are the ones that sort of really are probably going to be the subject of my abuse during this video. I just hate, I've got to the point where I actually hate classic car shows. I'm trying to actively avoid going to these classic car shows as such. Mainly because A, they're not inclusive. I mean, at the Mercedes-Benz Club, as you know, I do a lot of work with the Mercedes-Benz Club. And we are the club for every Mercedes-Benz. And even with our club, we seem to have this bit of stigma that we're just for old Mercs, for classic Mercs, but actually that's not true. And really, you know, with Mercedes, you find actually they've sold a lot more cars since the 1990s. So when you go to one of our meets or events, you actually see that a lot of the cars are sort of post 2000 even. I'd say sort of 70, maybe 6-7% of the cars are actually post 2000. So actually a lot of our members wouldn't be eligible to go to a classic car show. I know quite a few people at the moment have organised things in pre-1990. Which again gets me, because if you look at something like an SL that came out in 1989 for the one that went through to 2001, so you would be able to take an 89 car or maybe a 90 car, but you wouldn't be able to take a 1991 car. Well, I don't understand what the difference is, you know. And this is for me the real sort of nub of the problem, is that I find classic car shows quite boring. You always see the same cars there because you aren't allowed anything new, and there's always this thing about bringing in sort of younger people into classic cars, because there's a thing where I'm going to quote a stereotype, I don't know that's in my view, but it's a stereotype that actually classic cars are mainly for older people, and when you look around, yes, you know, you go to classic cars, you get actually quite a few people that are older, and if you want to get younger people actually into classic cars, surely the best way is to include everyone. You know, young people have got to be able to actually see classic cars and actually get into them before they actually can take ownership of them almost. You've got to be able to get them in there and actually interested in classic cars. And I've been to car shows before, I've had cars, and all my cars, I've never owned a classic car, my car's been fairly modern. In fact, the SLK is the oldest car I've owned, it turns 10 next month actually. But anyway, going off on a tangent there. I've been at a car show where I've said, well, my car's nice, but it's not a classic car. Well, what does it matter? You know, you wouldn't go up to someone at an event, well, you know, you're nice, but you're a bit young, aren't you? You know, you would never, you know, you don't normally have events where I couldn't go because I'm under a certain age, you know, there's a 40-year age limit where, you know, you can't go unless you're under 40 years. Why do you have the same in car shows? And I think what's interesting, you get places like Cafe in a Machine, places like Refuel down in Exeter, that let anybody in, and as long as you've got a passion for cars, then that's really the only criteria. It doesn't matter what you drive, it's just a fairly standard everyday car, something heavily modified, something that's 100 years old, say. It really doesn't matter. What matters is your passion. I think that's, for me, that's the nub of it. Why can't we just have shows and events that celebrate everyone's passion for cars? I've just said, you know, some of the events you go to, and they almost feel like you're sort of got these old set 1970, 1960, whatever, MGs and Triumphs and everything, and it's almost like you're sort of mourning the loss of the British motor industry almost. It's a very strange sometimes you go to some of the events, and I know things like MG are still about in one form or whatever, but to me they're not proper MG, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. Another tangent that I'm about to go off on there. So that's sort of my feelings about classic car shows. And so I'm actually starting to get a bit fed up and a bit bored of them. You sort of see the same cars there every time. You're always going to see MGBs, Mark 1 Escorts, Triumph Spitfires, and you can always predict basically every single car's going to be there. And it would be nice to actually start seeing just a general car show. So I think that's why people like Catherine are starting to actually come forward now, and you look at the popularity of them compared to maybe traditional classic car show. You look at the types of people that are going to car shows now, and it's just an interesting thing that I think of. And I know in the club we don't go to particular events because they don't let people let cars that are say 20 years or younger in. So it's very odd that I think we have that sort of system in this country, and thankfully I'm hoping it's going to start sort of dying out almost, and we start getting events that are inclusive of everyone and just attracting people that are passionate about cars. You know, again, everyone's an individual, everyone likes different things. There'll always be those events that, let's say you just have maybe a Japanese car show or German car show or whatever, but I don't really have a problem with. It's more these classic car shows, more the age. So I say ageism is alive in the world of classic cars, unfortunately. That's my little went over and done with for today. Let me know your opinion on this in the comments below. Make sure you like the video as well. Anything else I've got to talk to you about today? Give me updates. The SLK is still fine. It's still not doing that many miles at the moment. I was going to go out in today, and I think it's just about starting to rain actually. So we've had some rain this morning. It's rain at lunchtime, and now it's about 3 o'clock, and we're having some more rain now. It's one of the days just going to keep sunshine and showers. Last night I went to my very first Mercedes Club event, which is the first one since last March. I went to 2 last March, a pub meet and a car show down at the British Motor Museum. Both Range Rover events, and at the time I didn't realise that it'd been nearly 18 months so I went to another event. But anyway, regardless of everything that's gone on, everyone there thankfully was very, very happy to be back at events and very happy. And I think we had one of our biggest turnouts actually for our pub meet. I think we had about 33 people, which I don't know if it is a record, but it's certainly when I've been with the club, it's a large amount of people we've actually had. Now we'll go to this Toby car and we have a little side room, and the side room was full. We having extra chairs in, people having to sit at the side, and there's tables up about half the size of this, having to get like 6 people around them. But it was just good to be back at a car show, really, a car event. Good to see people, good to get chatting to people. We have been quite lucky that we've done video calls, but they're not the same really as actually being able to go into a room with people and go around, have chat with people and really socialise with people. I think that's the one thing I've really missed over the last 18 months, is actually going out and actually being able to socialise with people. So I think that's me updated at the moment. Hopefully, video wise, I'm going to have Blackrock Sands event coming up soon. We're going there next weekend with the Mercedes Club, so I'm going to video that, a little bit of filming. I'm hoping I'm going to start doing some filming with some other owners in the Mercedes Club now. I've got a couple of in mind for that, so hopefully we'll be able to go out and see some different people's cars, see my own, and be able to see a little bit outside of the 4 walls as well. So that should be coming up, so there's some good stuff coming up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That was a nice follow on there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button there to make sure we see lots of the exciting content that I've got coming up. So I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you next time.